set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
So a lot of times I call these episodes, these installments, as Passing of a Titan. Recently, one of you out there, you guys tracked me down on Facebook Messenger through my business account. So thank you for that. Thank you for keeping it away from the personal. I was getting asked, am I going to do a Passing of a Titan? We'll call him an AKAPADer. They follow me on YouTube, and on YouTube, when a comic book professional or entertainment professional that I'm connected to passes, I use their name when I say Passing of a Titan. And that's a Iron Man 2012 reference when they speak about Tony Stark's father in the beginning of the movie, where we get everything summed up for us in a nice, clear narration package, doubled as a presentation for the award Tony's getting. When his father dies, we hear the Passing of a Titan, where that's when Tony Stark inherited Stark Technologies and so on and so forth. But I always felt like Passing of a Titan was it was a great way to phrase and to honor someone. I believe my first video of that might have been when my father died. I used that term, Passing of a Titan. I just felt like it fit, and I continued it. So to address the Rob Reiner stuff real quick, yes, we will have a Rob Reiner Passing of a Titan, but right before Rob Reiner's upside down tragedy, Peter Greene passed away. I believe he was 60. And we spoke about Peter Greene in the past, because I feel like I grew up with his like this guy just seemed like there was nothing he couldn't do, and he turned into a career movie TV actor. You might want to say character actor, yes, because he is so natural. You believe you believe he's playing a character, even though his characters are amazingly natural. Does that make any sense? That might be too meta. We spoke about this masterpiece movie that is so perfectly paired with HBO's The Corner. The Corner is one of the best things HBO ever put out. It was a 5-episode series. Baltimore drug scene. It's off of a true crime, like true account. And often, like between like Cinemax and HBO growing up, I would toggle between Laws of Gravity and The Corner. This opened my eyes to true natural filmmaking, to where is it documentary? You're asking yourself this. Everyone involved is pushing the limit. And the stark reality is realizing that we're just in the production, we're just in the product. We're watching Wonder Bread on TV, right? This is just a product for our consumption. And that's where we blur it from product into art. Laws of Gravity. Peter Greene plays Jimmy. It's one of the most tragic movies you will ever watch. It's one of the best street level movies you will ever watch. Nick Gomez later would direct, 3 years later, he would direct New Jersey Drive. And then he gets like one more chance at this style of storytelling before the 90s are done with Ill Town. Later, he would do Drowning Mona, 2000. This is your studio film. He would later do Final Jeopardy, which is a TV film. I'd never seen that. But he became a TV director at that point. Very similar to Peter Greene. Maybe they had the same agent. But Peter Greene, when I was growing up, my friend and I, 1993, I speak about him, my buddy Rob. So maybe like 94, 95. I want to say 95 is when him and I really became friends, and we were hanging at his house, and he, somewhat of a sound equipment pseudo genius, like absolute mastermind, intellectual on that level. But he would even help my father setting up his sound systems. He knew all the cabling. His mind could track what inputs had to go to what outputs. And back in the day, you wouldn't just have like a sound bar. You would have a stereo system with an equalizer. You would have a thumper or like a bass. And then you would also have to wire everything so that it was arranged around the room the right way. And there were ways to figure that out. You could buy equipment to help you. You would have to buy supplemental sound cassettes and records and CDs to play certain types of sound so that you could track the placement of everything. My buddy Rob and I would watch Judgment Night every so often after school, because he would go to his place or I would go to mine. I was always the opposite. I was always just give me a screen, same way I am now. Give me a screen, give me some speakers. I just want to watch the movie. I just want to see what's the story here, which is why I have no problem in bringing you guys everything recently on my trip to London. We're going through the films I watched on that flight. I don't care. I just want the story. But we would watch Judgment Night, and he's the guy in Judgment Night. So within like 2 years, he plays contrasting kind of villains, because Jimmy in Laws of Gravity, not so much a villain. He's really a victim of circumstance. That's just the way you feel, even though he is a career criminal. Then Rob and I were in the theater, like opening weekend maybe, for Pulp Fiction. We've heard so much about Pulp Fiction, and he's Zed in Pulp Fiction. So we have 3 years, 3 incredible movies. But then I go to another movie that year with my father, and him and I, we loved this movie, The Mask. Guess what? Peter Greene is in The Mask. So now we have, between 92 and 94, Laws of Gravity, Judgment Day, Pulp Fiction, The Mask. And I just keep seeing this guy. And every time I see him, I say to myself, like, this guy's winning multiple Oscars. Like, this is an unbelievable run. And I realized this even in like those mid-teenage years. And cycling back to my buddy Rob real quick. He worked at oh my God, I was so jealous. He gets his job at Suncoast Video. And for Christmas one year, he uses his store discount. Keep in mind, AKAPAD, at this time, I was working like on the weekends at a local comic shop. And I was effectively just busting at Denny's. I was a busboy, but there was this senior. Her name was Heidi. Looked like a Heidi too. He had a crush on her, and she worked at the Denny's. So he he was probably right. Like he was jealous over me for the poontang. And I was jealous of him because he worked at a movie place and got a discount. I was like so pissed because I never thought about applying to any of that. Right? Like, it's just one of those revelations in life. It's like, wow, like he put himself around like what he wanted to be around. So he uses his discount. He buys me this Usual Suspects VHS box set that came with the Ralph McQuarrie script that looked like it was like a on-set movie script, you know? And I think it had like photo signatures, but it was like signed by the cast and stuff. And in Usual Suspects, 1995, Peter Greene is Redfoot in that movie. And Redfoot plays, if you listen to the story, weaved by Kevin Spacey in that. And we gotta talk about Usual Suspects too, because like what back-to-back years you get Pulp Fiction and Usual Suspects, like seismic shifts. Unfortunately, see, like that would be the last movie that you saw Peter Greene in. Because from that point on, he became a Hollywood guy, just a Hollywood actor, always good in wherever you saw him. But also in 95, my buddy Rob and I think it's because, right, we got the Playboy. There was Under Siege 2 may have had like a Playboy girl in it. And we were bad kids. I think we went down to the Berlin Mart one day to go through Playboy Playboy back issues. We get the Under Siege girls Playboy. But Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. He's also in that. We saw that too in Deptford, New Jersey. So everything but The Usual Suspects. I saw Peter and Laws of Gravity, but you know it was way hard to see Laws of Gravity in theaters. So I was also maybe a little bit too young. Peter Greene is the villain, the mother effer, the bad guy. In a chunk of my high school years, he is the villain of my high school years. So when we talk about the passing of a Titan, like this is the level that I'm speaking of. This is why it's shocking and important to me. If I could tell Peter Greene at one time, like these stories, I would have loved to. But this is what we do here on the Film Buff Podcast. We try and contextualize a lot of this entertainment and culture around us. We contextualize, and sometimes I put it through my own lens. Today, I'm putting it through a little bit of my lens. My buddy Rob, that God bless him, still returns text messages from me. So later, we would get Permanent Midnight, Ben Stiller. I love that movie. Blue Streak, Training Day. So he's been in movies all the way to 2026. He's Sika. He plays Lieutenant Jones, according to Wikipedia. But the guy's in films nearly every single year. The guy's in TV roles nearly every single year. He's a career actor that had one of the great runs, I think, in Hollywood history. A lot of times it's the guys that play between the lines, right? I mean, I was just watching that Seahawks game last night. Seahawks, LA Rams. One of the I crashed out. Oh my god! I wish I was watching this game live. Holy crap! But it's like the Seahawks have this one of the most improbable comebacks in NFL history with this wild call at the end, this two-point conversion call at the end. It was a fair call. I know some of you, my LAers out there, are probably upset to hear that. And we can name some of the names, some of the guys that caught the touchdown, some of the guys that threw the pass, right? Like the coaches, like there's in that game, there's maybe like 6 to 7 names, right? But there's all of these other guys that play between the lines, that come in on certain plays, that are in or out, that might have 3 snaps a game, or they're the names that are in the trenches. They're the real players of the league. These are the guys that are American football. And I feel like when it comes to acting and this sort of thing, right? Peter Greene is one of the guys that's in the trenches. But holy crap, did he... Like, I can't think of another actor that had an opening run the way that he did. And I don't know, right? Like 96, Lowball, Coyote Run, Rich Man's Wife. 97, Trading Favors, Double Tap, Kiss and Tell. Permanent Midnight, Out in 50. Shadow Hour. So he's just in so many movies. But yeah, Peter Greene for today's episode, The Passing of a Titan.
Okay, that's a wrap.